is the NFL on EA Sports. We've got a good division rivalry coming up here in the AFC, and these two teams have met once already, so they are more than familiar with one another's tendencies, and maybe more importantly, their weaknesses. It's the Bengals going up against the Browns. With kickoff straight ahead, let's check in with the two men who will be calling tonight's game as we say hello to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Thank you, Larry. From the shores of Lake Erie, EA Sports has coverage of the NFL from First Energy Stadium here in Cleveland, Ohio. Tonight we polish off Week 10 with a good Monday night matchup between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Cleveland Browns. On 1st and 10, here's Andy Dalton. And he'll lay out and pull it in. What a diving catch there. A good start offensively. 15 yards on the game's initial play.
Well, how about that adrenaline? First play of the game, and we have a catch that we're going to talk about probably the rest of this game and straight into the highlights.
Right out of the gate. What an effort. Shift together here from the D-line. Now a first carry for Giovanni Bernard. And a cut to the sideline. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. Giovanni Bernard, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Bengals are going to take a first quarter lead. You talk about explosion plays. There's one pretty much right out of the gate.
And now they get to ride a wave of emotion, momentum, everything. Just as you described, right out of the gate. Big sprint, touchdown. They're excited. But on the other side, they've got to guard against a major letdown because they hit them right in the gut with that one. And now you start to question yourself a little bit when you give up a touchdown on the opening drive.
After the touchdown, here's Mike Nugent now to kick this one away. This will be taken short. And they're going to have really good starting field position here as that's taken up close to the 40. They'll come out in the pistol. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Screen play, Johnson. They hold him to only 2 there on the screen. It's 2nd down. 2nd down now after the pass completion.
Here we go now.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. The defensive starters now for Cincinnati.
Geno Atkins is an absolute force as a defensive tackle. Forces every offense that he plays against to alter their game plan.
And the back goes into motion. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. It's complete to Grant. Oh, he's got some breathing room. 19 yards that time for number 19.
The goal of every offense is to move the chains, pick up first downs. A nice job finding an open receiver for a completion.
A first carry now. This is Johnson. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
How many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, You got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary. That led to a really nice game.
Second down following the run.
Here we go now.
Looking to throw. And quick throw here, that's complete. They'll give him a yard on the play, and they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
Here we go now.
They'll go with a keeper. Just a gain of a couple, but good enough to keep the drive rolling.
I don't know about you, but I like this call. 3rd and inches, and instead of worrying about getting it back to a running back and maybe there's some penetration from the defensive front, just go ahead and take it, move forward, and pick up the first down.
And as we say often, it shows confidence in your offensive line. So it'll be first down here after the run. Now a first carry for their fullback. And he'll take this one down near the 15. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Good solid gain on first down, about what you'd expect from the big guy carrying the ball.
And after the play on the ground, that brings up 2nd down here. They'll look to throw. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Geno Atkins in there to get him for a loss of 5.
Now, that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack. And that's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
So a big sack on 2nd down. Now let's see what the offense has in store for 3rd. Halfback sent in motion. He'll look to throw here. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. They'll get 10 there, but it leaves them just short for 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. And no field goal try here from the red zone offense out there. They'll go for it on 4th.
Hey. All right, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
Here we go with Johnson. And he is going to lose yardage here. David Johnson denied here on the 4th down run. And the Bengals will get the football back. And no press coverage here. They are backing off in the secondary. They'll begin here with Bernard. And he'll get this one up to about his 14. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
It's really simple to say that they know their identity, that they are a passing team. But one of the reasons that they're so successful, they know how to mix in the run and make sure that they keep the defense off balance and not able to just simply say, let's go get the quarterback and disrupt things.
Seven yards to go on 2nd down. Fakes the give to Bernard. Dalton. And oh, this is taken in one-handed. What a catch. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
It's got to the point where we see guys like that make that type of a catch. Not fair goes through my brain. That size, that speed, and now they're acting like wide receivers, too.
Yeah, tight end one-handed catches. They're kind of like wide receiver one-handed catches nowadays.
Just not right.
And a nice carry there of 15 yards.
For so many years, I was convinced it was a myth, because you always hear about the smaller running back. Oh, he gets lost, you can't find him, and sometimes that's part of his genius. But it's true. You get behind big offensive linemen, the defensive line guys trying to find him, trying to peek around people to see him, and he gets lost. But this guy gets lost in a good way for his offense, picking up big yardage.
So we have now seen connection number 1 between Dalton and Adriel Jeremiah, A.J. Green.
Say that again?
Adriel Jeremiah.
Look at you. You are full of knowledge and information. And you know something? I bet Andy Dalton learned his full name as well because he figured out quickly, this is going to be my number 1 target. I got to know this guy in a big way.
7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Looking for his tight end, Eifert. And now the rookie's free. A great read, and it's picked off. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Browns defense has a touchdown. Those free safeties, they get to sit back there if they've got good pass rushers like this team does. Read like a book. He read it like a book and took it in for 6.
And if they use their eyes well and their anticipation skills, they can make big plays, just as what we saw. The free safety's dream. Follow the football, go to it, and take it the other way.
So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. Short kick. One of the up middle take it now.
In a tie game, both sides are looking for something to give them an advantage. It often falls back on special teams. In that return, that could be the spark to untie the game.
They send Green to the left on his own. A first down throw coming for Dalton. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Completed pass play. Now let's see if they go back to the air or to the ground. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of 2, now third down. But good luck there as a ball carrier. You get handed that football, look up, oh, there's a big D tackle ready to swallow you whole for a loss.
Yeah, you kind of count on your guys to give you at least a little bit of time, a little bit of space to try and maneuver, but not on that one. And when you have a defensive tackle who is that strong, that agile, he's a lot to deal with. Sometimes you have to double him, and sometimes you're not able to block him no matter who's trying.
A minute 59 to go in the first half. More from Cleveland after this. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's brought down. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
Whether it's what we call an even front or an odd front, and an odd front's real easy to figure out. If that guy is lined up over the nose of the center, typically that's an odd front defense. Odd number of people, meaning 3-4 versus the 4-3, which is an even front. You've got to control those guys in the middle. Whether it's the nose or the 2 defensive tackles in a 4-man front, if those guys can't get moved, you cannot run the ball in the middle of the field. And in that play, they were able to actually take care of business.
Passing again. Dalton on 2nd and 10. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Timing's crucial in any route thrown, but when you throw an out, so many things are going through the mind of the receiver. Catching the ball, timing it up with the quarterback. Are my feet going to get down inbounds? On that play, all those things going through his head might have caused him to drop it.
3rd down, a shot here for Dalton. And he is going to lose yardage here. Call it a loss of 12 that time. And that's going to make it 4th down. So now the Cincinnati native, also former Bearcat, and now a Bengal, Kevin Huber, to punt it away. Out of bounds as he appeared to be looking for the corner. He got it. They're going to mark this at the 4-yard line. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And on the last drive, they were in field goal range. They just opted not to kick it, didn't get it. How does that change the mentality this go around?
I don't think it changes much for the head coach because this is what he preaches all the time. Attack at all times in any spot on the field, and he likes touchdowns, not field goals. Now, your field goal kicker, you've got to make sure you nurse him through and say, okay, don't worry about it. When we need you, you've got to be ready to go. And the team, of course, loves to see points on the board. So let's see if it changes a little bit if they're in the same spot again.
Yeah, we'll see what the decision is here if they get to that spot. Very tough spot here for the offense to start. Now with the play clock down to 2, we're going to get a timeout here. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And not great starting field position here for the offense. Defense really showing respect to the deep ball here, playing off the receivers. They begin the drive with Johnson. And a nice pickup as this one gets him to the 10-yard line. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
I think they're ahead of schedule now after that run. They might be bold with this 2nd down call after that type of a game.
Four yards remaining now on 2nd down. Again, it's Johnson. And he's got room. And a cut to the left sideline. And he's brought down after a good gain. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. So the run moves the chains, and here we go on 1st down. Gun. They'll look to throw. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
After watching him drop that slant, I can hear my old coach's voice ringing in my ears right now. You can't run with the ball until you catch it. Trying to get those rack yards before he secured it.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. Wide open receiver complete. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. And unless this is a quick incompletion, this is likely the last play here of this first half. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side.
Detroit! Detroit! Back down to that Philly. Here we go. Bring it up. Win the rep. All right, now, look at 56.
They'll throw now on the final play. And he's got his man on the out route. So we are at halftime here on a Monday night, as we'll send you down to Orlando, where Larry Ridley has our EA Sports halftime report. Larry? So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. And, Charles, this is one of those inexcusable special teams penalties, an out-of-bounds kickoff.
Pressure, pressure, pressure. Sometimes errors occur because of situations.
They go play action here on first down. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Michael Johnson. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9. And they're going to go soft on the corners. And they'll bring the big tight end across the formation left. He'll drop to throw. To the sideline, and oh, a nice catch there. Made sure the feet were inbounds, and they were.
Was that a receiver? Yeah, actually it was. There was a running back who was a receiver on the play. Ike's been spending time in the receiver drills getting his feet down.
Well, those guys out of the backfield, they got to be good, agile with their feet. He showed the agility there with a toe tap.
No doubt about it. It's like he's run to ballet school. Got the toes down and stayed in bounds.
Hurry up, here we go.
Out of the gun now on third down. And this is going to be incomplete. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides, where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
And now a low liner. I think he mishit it. That'll go down as just a 20-yard punt, and the offense will come back onto the field for the 1st and 10. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. Their defense did its job, yielded no points. Now it's the offense's turn.
And how much fun is that when you set things up to start a half and you just tell you guys, hey, if you can shut them down, get it back for our offense, we can roll. And they played out perfectly. Now, can the offense do what they wanted to do in the half, which is find those weaknesses and now attack them and score some points.
And break this tie. At 6'4", Green can be so tough to cover.
Really can. When I watch him play, the word that comes to mind for me is willowy. And I mean that in the biggest compliment I can give. His ability to do what the receivers coach subbed out always, uncover at the end of routes. Even if a guy's right there in his shirt, he finds a way to come up with the ball.
It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
2nd down, Dalton caught Eifert over the middle. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did. One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-armed guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. It's a 10-yard gain there, and it sets them up now 1st and goal.
When the hitch route is run really well, that jab step off the line of scrimmage by the receiver, which is designed to back up the defender and give him a little bit of space, all you want there, get that space, catch the football, and then make a move and pick up extra yardage. And that's exactly what he got done there.
And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. They send Green to the left on his own. Now a play fake, and he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. Tyler Eifert, his 2nd touchdown on the season, and the Bengals have taken the lead. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. Here's Dalton to throw for it. Looking for his tight end, Eifert, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And after the touchdown, here's Mike Nugent now to kick this one away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
A gain of 6 there on 1st. And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry-up.
No. Check. Patriots.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And that is incomplete.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. Time running out here on the play clock. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And he gets it to Funchess complete. It goes as a gain of 9, and it moves the chains.
But give the defensive guys a little bit of credit. They didn't let the deep ball beat them on that play, did they?
No, the drag, that guy could be your safety valve. We saw it right there.
Yeah, and it picked up a 1st down for them, too.
And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run. They'll look to throw here on 1st down. Flushed out right. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They may have to make a few additional changes along the way because I'm sure the defense will make some adjustments, but they've got to have great confidence having scored the last time out.
A good pickup there. 8 yards on the 1st down completion.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
It'll be a gain of 2 on the play, but they'll remain a few inches short here with 3rd down looming.
J.J. Watt makes another tackle there, and it's for a minimal gain. And let's face it, if that's all you're going to get running the ball, you're not going to have much success against him and his team.
Or, yeah, you better find a way to go around J.J. Watt, which isn't easy to do.
It's really not, because you got to try everything. Can you go around him? Can you go by him? Can you influence him to get him out of position so maybe you can wall him off? He's a really sharp, intelligent player as well as a physical specimen.
Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. And he gets it down to the 48, enough for the first. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
I always appreciate runners who understand situations. That was just 3rd and inches. No reason to dance around in the backfield and try and break off a bigger play. Just go pick up the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
They'll run it now out of the gun. He'll get about 4 here, down to the 43-yard line. So 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
And now to the air, Dalton. Wright's got it. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. He had time, was able to survey the field and find a soft spot in that zone coverage.
And that's where it gets difficult for a defender, Brandon. You go to your spots on the field that you have to cover, and when the offense finds an area that you're not in, that's where they throw the football.
Despite only needing 1, Dalton to throw. And Eifert has it. And he's going to get the first down here as he's taken down at the 22. And now a timeout called defensively by the Browns. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. Dalton, 1st and 10. And he will find his man on the outside. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Just 2 yards to go here on 2nd down for the offense. Dalton gives to Bernard. They stopped after only a yard, taking it down to the 14. The tackle by Robert Quinn. And in this situation with the lead 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
They come up in an offset eye. They'll run again with Bernard. Call it no gain that time, and they're going to be left looking up at a 4th and 1.
That was a terrific job by the defense stopping.
And now the Browns are going to take another timeout. That's going to leave them with just 1 remaining here in this 4th quarter. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. And the former Buckeye, Nugent, puts this one through, and that will make this a 9-point lead. So a big one there as that gives them a little cushion.
And you know, here in the 4th quarter, the fact that they were able to bleed some time off the clock and put points on the board, even if it's only 3, that could turn out to be the drive that ultimately wins them the game.
Back out Nugent now after the field goal as he'll send it away. This will be taken way up by the 25. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right? And this is intercepted, and that should do it. A great read, and it's picked off. And they'll start out with great field position at the 47-yard line in enemy territory. On the toss, Bernard. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. It's a gain of 17 that time. And the Bengals are going to have a first down. Again, here's Bernard. Time for a break. And he'll take this inside the 30 to about the 29, maybe the 28-yard line. Second down, 8. They come out here in the eye. They'll run it here with Bernard. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Joe Hayden there to bring him down.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
3 yards left to grab here on third down. Now Bernard. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. Now hang on here. Timeout called by the defense. It'll be their third and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. And he missed it. That was neither far enough. It wasn't even on target. It's no good, and this score will stay right where it is. So with that miss, Charles, you have to figure their fate. It might be sealed.
Yeah, you needed 2 scores. So you take the field goal first and then worry about getting the ball back. But that may not matter now.
In motion is Grant. And the D looking like they may blitz. They go back to the air here after the INT. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Michael Johnson in there to take him down, and the clock will roll. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. He's going to let it fly, and he's unable to grab it. Thought he might have had position, couldn't hold on. Third down. Incomplete pass on second down. Let's see what the offense draws up here on third.
And when all else fails as a defender, when you're not there in the coverage, your best friend is exactly what we saw there. A big play shot taken by the offense. Unfortunately, it ended in a big drop. Very difficult night for the guys on offense. They've got to be looking at each other in the huddle and on the sidelines. How are we going to find some open space to complete a pass and find open room to run? This defense all night long has squeezed down the passing lanes, made plays on the football. It's really been a thing of beauty for them. He's got to figure all day long prepping for the game. They had to have talked about it again and again. Squeeze passing lanes, and we'll be in great shape.
The defensive line disperses a little bit here, maybe expecting a pass. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. A great read, and it's picked off. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. The Bengals offense now, they head back onto the field. They're in a good spot. 2-possession game, barely, but a 2-possession game here late. Now they just have to put this game on ice.
Let's face it, right now, they're talking about ball security, taking care of it, not allowing anything crazy to happen, because we've seen nutty things happen down the stretch, but they also have the security of the scoreboard. With that type of a lead, even if something goes haywire, they're still in good shape. From our vantage point, that was just one bad play by the offensive line in a series of really good ones tonight. But I know that they're going to be really ticked off. It's a lot like a baseball pitcher losing a no-hitter late in the game.
And the offense behind the chains here a touch on 2nd and 11. Here's Bernard. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a third down.
But that certainly felt like an example of the defense just saying, okay, we've had enough. We're getting mashed all night long. About time we got a good play in. But flip it over to the offensive side.
Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Dalton down to a knee, and that'll be all she wrote. It is. By the way, how impressive is it that you travel with a laminator? I didn't even know there was a portable